Hello everyone, my name is Bill Berg and the title of our talk is The Effect of Non-Contact Boxing Training on the Frequency and Timing of Anticipatory Postural Adjustments in Healthy Adults. For over a decade, boxing training has seen use as therapy for persons with Parkinson's disease. A couple studies by Combs and colleagues suggested that non-contact boxing training may be useful therapy for persons with Parkinson's disease. And King and Horak suggested that boxing training might enhance anticipatory postural adjustments in persons with Parkinson's disease. Unfortunately, there's no evidence that boxing training influences APAs, or anticipatory postural adjustments, in people with Parkinson's disease. Moreover, there's no evidence that boxing training influences APAs in any population. Therefore, the purpose of the current study was to determine the effect of non-contact boxing training on the frequency and timing of APAs resulting from self-induced postural perturbations in healthy adults. This was accomplished using a pre-test, post-test, 8-week non-contact boxing intervention study, and we hypothesized that 8 weeks of non-contact boxing training would cause more frequent APAs as well as earlier APA onset. 33 healthy adults between the ages of 19 and 27 participated in our study, and they had no boxing experience. They were divided into a non-contact boxing training group and a control group. The pre- and post-test consisted of rapid bimanual arm-raising maneuver in order to elicit APAs, and we used EMG to determine APA onset and frequency in 4 muscles: the lumbar and thoracic erector spinae, semitendinosus, and soleus. The boxing intervention consisted of 20 non-contact boxing training sessions over 8 weeks, and each 90-minute session consisted of 60 to 70 minutes of boxing training and 20 to 30 minutes of cardio or strengthening exercises. The control group participants maintained their regular physical activity. The study compared groups on percentage changes from pre-test to post-test. Two-tailed tests were used to analyze for differences in means between the boxing and control groups. And outliers were revealed, and select outliers were removed as an exploration into how group means did or did not differ under these improved conditions. Starting with APA frequencies, the mean percentage changes in APA frequency in the semitendinosus and soleus for the control and boxing groups are presented in Table 1. The lumbar and thoracic erector spinae were excluded for reasons related to a ceiling effect. Now, positive values indicate that APAs were more frequent in the post-test than the pre-test. The confidence intervals produced indicated that the soleus was the only muscle where the mean percentage change in trials containing APAs differed between the boxing and control groups. And in some, the boxing group increased APA frequency in the soleus more than the control group did. There was one outlier detected in the semitendinosus in the boxing group, and determining its relevance, it was removed and the statistical tests were run again, and this removal caused the difference in the means for the boxing and control groups to become significant. And you can see that in Table 2. The boxing group increased frequency by 15%, whereas the control group decreased frequency by 3.4%. In terms of APA onset, the mean percentage changes in onset for the control and boxing groups are presented in Table 3. In this one, the soleus needed to be excluded. Positive values indicate that APA onset was earlier in the post-test than the pre-test. For each muscle, the t-test indicated that the mean percentage change in APA onset time between the boxing and control groups was not significantly different. However, exploration of the data revealed one large outlier in the lumbar erector spinae muscle in the control group. To determine its relevance, the statistical tests were run after excluding it. The removal of the outlier caused the difference in means for the boxing and control groups to become significant. So in Table 4, you can see that in the lumbar erector spinae, the boxing group increased, had earlier APA onset by 19.4%, whereas the control group had later APA onset by about 1.4%. So in conclusion, the non-contact boxing caused APAs to become more frequent in the soleus and semitendinosus muscles. The non-contact boxing caused APA onset to become earlier in the lumbar erector spinae muscle. The significant and non-significant results all trended in the expected direction. That is, that boxing training would cause earlier APA onset and more frequent APAs. So we can conclude that non-contact boxing training has an effect, albeit limited, on the frequency and timing of APAs resulting from self-induced postural perturbations in healthy adults.